Hey there, thanks for watching. Today is week one of our series, Storytelling, the Values We Hold High. And today's message is the God who goes before us. This message is based in Exodus 12 from verse 24 to 28. The big idea I want to share with you is this. Before we even knew we needed a rescuer, God was already working behind the scenes to bring you home. Did you know that certain species of sea turtle and migratory birds are born with magnetoreception? Imagine if you had a built-in compass inside your body that always told you which way was north, even if your eyes were closed. That is magnetoreception. Before they ever take their first journey, they have this biological quote unquote GPS turned to Earth's magnetic field. They don't have to learn where home is. The path is already written in their very being before they even move a muscle. Sea turtles, homing pigeons, salmon, Arctic terns, red foxes, and monarch butterflies are examples of these animals. In the same way, we often feel a pull toward something higher, a sense of purpose, or a humming beacon for the soul. We like to think we are the ones searching for God, but the reality is much more profound. He has been laying the tracks for our journey long before we ever decided to start walking. The first point I want to bring to you is this: the God who acts first. In the story of the first Passover in Exodus, the text for today's message, we see a people who were stuck. The Israelites were in a cycle of slavery. They couldn't break on their own. Notice the timing. God don't wait for them to become perfect or holy enough before he initiate the rescue. He heard their cry and moved toward them. And this is what we call prevenient grace, the grace that precedes our choice. And this is the best news you ever hear. You don't have to clean up your life to get God's attention. He has been protecting you, whispering to your conscience, and arranging circumstances since you were born. The Passover lamb wasn't reward for good behavior. It was a gift of deliverance for a people who couldn't save themselves. C.S. Lewis was captured beautifully in Surprised by Joy. A young man who wishes to remain a sound atheist cannot be too careful of his reading. God is, if I may say it, very unscrupulous. Lewis realized that God was hunting him with love long before he believed. God is doing the same thing for you today. That takes us to the second part of today's message. Why do we tell the story? God commanded the Israelites to turn this rescue into a perpetual feast. Why? Because humans are prone to spiritual amnesia. We quickly forget the miracles of yesterday when we face the giants of tomorrow. The Passover meal was a historical record etched into their culture so that every child would ask, why is this night different? When we share our story of how God found us, we aren't just reminiscing, we are building a memorial. Your Passover is the moment you realized you weren't alone by keeping a record of God's faithfulness. Whether through journaling, sharing a meal, or baptism, you anchor your identity. We don't tell this story to live in the past. We tell them to fuel our courage for the future. As Charles Spurgeon once said, memory is very frequently the laboratory of the imagination. When we remember that God has done, it gives us the imagination to see what he can do. And that takes us to the third point of today's message. moving from must to get to. The ultimate result of understanding prevenient grace is a radical shift in our behavior. If we think we earned our salvation, we become proud and judgmental. But if we realize that God rescued us while we were still in Egypt, the only logical response is gratitude. This gratitude isn't just a feeling, it becomes our culture. In a culture of gratitude, we don't obey God because we must, fear of punishment, but because we get you, meaning love for the rescuer. This changed how we treat our neighbors, how we handle our finances, and how we face trials. We become a people who look at life not through the lens of trials or what do I lack, but through the lens of look what I've been given. When 2 Peter 2:9 calls us chosen people, it's inviting us into a life where our primary language is thankfulness. This is the legacy we leave for the next generation. A life that says, I am free and I didn't do it myself. Well, friends, the blood on the doorpost is the Passover story, was a sign of safety provided by God. And today, that sign is the cross of Jesus. This week, I want to challenge you to do one thing. Take 10 minutes to look back at your Egypt, that time in your life when things were darkest. Can you see the magneto reception of God? Can you see a moment where a door opened, a friend called, a thought occurred that led you back to Jesus? Write it down. That's your memorial. May God bless you abundantly.